Have we all collectively lost our minds? What does it do? What is it for? Is it just a squishy thing? Yeah, basically. And I get that these are all different sizes and different shapes and different colors, but at the end of the day, you've just bought 6 of the same thing. I bet some of these creators don't really care at all about these products. They're just pretending to. As always, influencers have taken something relatively normal and turned it into a nightmare. A NeeDoh nightmare. I wasn't planning on posting one of my usual investigating trends videos this week, but I've had so many comments asking me to talk about the NeeDoh situation over the past couple of days that I just had to switch up the plan. If you're new here today, hi, I'm Rachel. I make videos discussing all sorts of crazy online trends, usually from the perspective of, have we all collectively lost our minds? Think of me as your local internet journalist trying to make sense of the many viral trends that seem to appear out of nowhere these days. You know, I do actually have a degree in journalism somewhere. Anyway, we've discussed the viral mystery dumpling trend, the Chick-fil-A cup craze, last week's video was all about the Lucky Scoop situation, and hopefully by the end of today's video, you will be an expert on the internet's latest obsession, NeeDohs. Because as always, influencers have taken something relatively normal and turned it into a nightmare. A NeeDoh nightmare, if you will. Let's begin as we always do by answering the question, what on earth is a NeeDoh? This is a NeeDoh. Does that answer your question? No, of course it doesn't. NeeDoh is a brand of sensory toy. The brand was created in 2018 and according to their website, the brand began with the creation of innovative, sensory-rich toys designed to help kids and adults alike unwind and enjoy a moment of calm amidst the chaos of daily life. Oh, that was a long sentence. Over the past few years, NeeDoh have created a bunch of different sensory toys, with their most popular ones being the NeeDoh Nice Cube and the NeeDoh Gumdrop. Okay, but what's a sensory toy? What does it do? Is it just a squishy thing? Yeah. Basically, sometimes also referred to as fidget toys, you may be familiar with this thing, the fidget spinner. These toys are designed to engage your senses. For example, some of these toys are specifically designed to be really engaging to touch, often with different parts that move or things that squish, like the NeeDoh Nice Cubes or those popper toys. Sensory toys will also sometimes make noises like clicking sounds when you press buttons, and you usually find that these toys are particularly eye-catching to look at with bright colors and interesting patterns. Sensory toys are often used by people with autism, ADHD, and sensory processing disorders, as they can provide these engaging sensory experiences to alleviate stress and anxiety, helping you to focus and self-regulate. Not only that, but for older people as well, for people with dementia. There are a bunch of different benefits to these things that are applicable to different people with different needs. I think in the past, maybe people have generally referred to these as stress toys. I do think that there was probably a bit of a stigma around sensory toys previously, where people thought that they were like a specialist thing only for people with specific needs. From what I've seen, particularly in the last 2 or 3 years, is that owning and using these sensory toys has become a lot more common and normalized. They are now sold in lots and lots of stores, and I think younger people are also beginning to focus more on the toy or collectible aspect of these things, rather than specifically using them for sensory purposes. So back to NeeDohs specifically, let's take a look at some of the different NeeDoh products that people are buying.
NeeDohs, what are they for? These are some of my favourite ones, so I'll explain it while I'm playing with each of them. This is the NeeDoh Nice Cube, really hard to squeeze and to the touch. Like, you really got to work it in your hands to get it quite soft. And it doesn't bounce back to its cube shape for quite a while, which shows how good it is to play with. This is the Gumdrop, same kind of texture inside, but outside of it, it's this lovely sort of fruit pastel-y type texture. This is the Dream Drop. These are the baby NeeDoh Nice Cubes. This is the NeeDoh Niceberg. So all of these are fantastic for concentration, focus, keeping your mind distracted and your hands busy. So they're for many things like that.
So now we know what a NeeDoh is. It is a sensory toy designed for stress-relieving fun, and according to the NeeDoh website, they are made to be durable and safe from non-toxic materials. As you can see, these things come in different shapes, designs, sizes, colors. As for the prices, the original NeeDoh Nice Cube will cost you around £7, the larger size costing closer to about £13, or you can buy a 3-pack for £18. In the US, US, you can get these from loads of places, from Walmart, usually $9, but it looks like they're on sale right now. So these things are not super expensive, especially for a brand that seems to have a heavy focus on the durability of their products. But of course, as with a lot of brands with successful products, NeeDoh then went absolutely crazy with releasing all sorts of different stuff. We've got the NeeDoh Funky Pup, the NeeDoh Gummy Bear, the Fuzzball Flower Power, Groovy Fruit, the Snowball Crunch. There is a whole bunch of variations. Walmart are even selling an Easter-themed mystery 10-pack of NeeDoh toys for $170. But this is all relatively normal stuff, right? A brand has a couple of original products do really well, and then they expand to multiple other products. Overall, these look like good products. I have no complaints here, and I'm glad that sensory toys are becoming a more widely understood and accessible thing, and I'm glad that this company seems to prioritize being durable and using safe materials. So why is everyone on YouTube telling me to talk about the NeeDoh situation? That's because there is indeed a situation happening. As NeeDoh have started gaining popularity and releasing multiple designs in multiple colors, some people have started collecting them. This next video shows all of the different colors and variations of the Nice Cube product we have available here in the UK, apparently.
Every NeeDoh Nice Cube currently available in the UK. Let's start with the original Nice Cube, a classic sugar squish. Both of these two have a very similar consistency. Moving on to the adorable nice sized babies, and we can't forget the one from the advent calendar. Let's go for the glitter and glow next. Absolutely stunning, these glow in the dark. Swirl has some gorgeous patterns and they're printed on the inside so they won't come off. The other swirls that I have are much softer. Colours on this orange swirl have to be one of my favourites. The glow in the darks have this lovely matte texture on the outside. So which is your favourite Nice Cube?
So this creator runs a TikTok account specifically dedicated to reviewing and recommending fidget toys, hence why they own all of these. Some people do collect sensory toys because of a special interest, or they perhaps have a specific need for a large amount, but we're now starting to see videos like this appearing all over social media.
Trying to find the new viral NeeDohs at Target. Last time I was here, this Target had a whole section of them. Last time they were on this back wall, and I think I see them. Okay, they have so many. They have the ice cream cone, marshmallows, gumdrops. I don't even know if, are these NeeDohs? I don't think these are NeeDoh. Mellow Nice Cube, the glittery ones, so sparkly. They have different colors. They also have the color changing ones. I really want the crunchy NeeDoh. The marshmallow might be good. I think they have different ones back here. We have the fuzz balls, glow in the dark. Marshmallow changes color in the sunlight. I want a pink one, but I don't know if they have pink. Wait, there it is. A pink glitter Nice Cube.
Can't believe I found a NeeDoh. Let's open it. I got the glitter Nice Cube. I am so excited because I love glitter and I never got a glitter dumpling. So I'm just gonna pretend this is my glitter dumpling. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. I've never had one of these before. Oh my god. Why does it move like that? Oh, glittery. Does it just go back into a cube? Like, oh my gosh. This is gonna be so good. Literally obsessed.
So now we are hunting for the viral NeeDohs. This is the same style of content we see every single time there is a new viral product. A creator will film themselves going to Target, and it's always Target. They walk around the store hunting for these viral products. They then sit in the car and tear open the packaging. They'll play with it for a few seconds, and then they'll say something like, "Oh my god, guys, I'm obsessed." I'm gonna make a big generalization here that may not apply to the creators I'm showing today, but what I think can often happen is that a creator will see a product like the NeeDohs getting a bit of traction and interest online. A product that they perhaps would never have taken any interest in if they hadn't seen it gaining popularity on social media. It then becomes a bit of a race to see who can hop on the hype and capitalize on that interest the quickest. NeeDohs are the viral trending product of this week, it seems, which means viewers on social media platforms will be watching more NeeDoh videos. Creators who make these videos about the NeeDohs will appear on more people's For You page as a result of this trend, therefore increasing their views, followers, overall popularity. Well, that's the aim. Anyway, I'd be willing to bet that some of these creators who immediately hop on these viral trends don't really care at all for the products themselves. They care for the social media hype. Anyway, back to this video. What I did find interesting here is that this creator looked through all of these NeeDohs and skipped over a bunch of them to get to the one that they wanted. But in the comments, you can see everyone saying, "You missed your calling for the ice cream cone. Get the ice cream. You didn't get the ice cream. That's the rarest one." So naturally, 2 days later, this creator went right back to Target to film the following video. So it says, trying to find the ice cream cone NeeDohs at Target.
Find the viral ice cream cone NeeDoh. Last time I was here, they had every color. I didn't know it was rare, so let's find it.
Oh, hell no, man.
They sold out. They have the glow-in-the-dark one. Nothing here. Gonna go to another Target and see if they have it. Made it to Target number 2. I'm running over there to see if they have them. Literally cannot find a single one. The last spot to check is the dollar section, but I don't see anything but Easter stuff. These are so cute. They don't have any of them here, so I'm gonna go to another Target tomorrow.
So first of all, we begin the video off by saying we're trying to find the viral ice cream cone NeeDoh. They say, I didn't know it was rare, so let's find it. This to me just comes across as, I didn't want this thing, but people on social media told me that this thing was rare and desirable, so now I have to have it. This creator literally skipped right over this product in her last video, literally 2 days ago, but now all of a sudden we know that it's rare, so we have to have it. Are we starting to see the little hints of unnecessary consumption peeking through here? And I say unnecessary consumption rather than overconsumption because buying a couple of these things is not overconsumption. But buying things that you probably don't need or didn't really want just because people on Instagram Reel comments told you it was rare, we're sort of heading in that direction. Perhaps not overconsumption or excessive consumption, but certainly unnecessary consumption. It's a hard behavior to categorize because there are lots of elements to it. But I think what really matters here is that this creator is framing the buying of these NeeDohs as fun and as a challenge. You know, like how they use the word hunting for the viral whatever. They're framing it as something desirable, something that you really want to do. Run, don't walk to Target to get the viral NeeDohs, that kind of thing. I think it comes down to how the buying of these products is being portrayed to social media audiences. When creators and influencers promote the purchasing of these things, like the NeeDohs, the mystery dumplings, and they create this sense of urgency, like it's some sort of treasure hunt to go out and find these things in the stores, and that you should be going to multiple Targets just to find the rare ones. Of course, the young, impressionable kids that watch these videos are gonna be influenced to want to do the same.
Biggest NeeDoh haul I've ever done, and I'm so excited. So starting out, I have all 3 of the gel-filled Valentine's hearts. And then I also got the minis. Overall, I would rate these like an 8 out of 10. I really like them. And now it's time for the big ones. These ones are like really similar to the Dream Drop. They're super pretty, and if you really like the Dream Drop, you should definitely have these on your wish list. I got all 3 of the ice cream cones, and it has like the perfect squish. It reminds me a lot of the fuzzball. Okay, I'm super excited for these too. I got the purple and the pink jellyfish. I would give these a 10 out of 10 as well. Okay, I'm gonna post a part 2 because I still have all of these, and these to unbox.
And the caption says, Ginormous NeeDoh Haul. I couldn't even fit it all into one part. I did some damage for sure though. Basically meaning they spent a lot of money, which, yeah, we can tell. And this video is from the same creator. So many NeeDohs to choose from. Yeah, you got that right. So yeah, we're starting to see people with huge collections of NeeDohs. And this is where we start to perhaps see the line between collecting and over-consuming becoming a little blurred. There is nothing wrong with collecting things when it's done deliberately because of a passion or interest. You know, collecting things that you care about, collecting things that mean a lot to you. But when people start to add things to their collections in these huge hauls, like as we saw in this video, buying 6 of the same product. And I get that these are all different sizes and different colors, but this is 6 of the same thing. And I suppose you have to ask yourself at that point, why do you need 6 of the same item in your collection? Will you use all of these items? Will you treasure them forever? Or are you just going to keep adding more and more of the same items in slightly different variations just because you can? I think this can certainly be the case when the emphasis seems to be on the size of the collection and the size of these hauls, rather than the importance of the individual items that make up a collection. I'm going to do a separate video in the future about collecting versus over-consuming because it's a bit of a complicated one, and I know a lot of people have been asking for me to talk about it. It is on my to-do list, I promise. But I definitely think that some people start off collecting something with good intentions, but they end up excessively consuming and purchasing things that they don't really care about that much in order to build a large collection rather than a carefully curated collection. I think some people struggle to find the line between just having things and collecting things. Because I think there's definitely a difference, and the difference lies in the being selective and purposeful about the items that you obtain. I myself have made this mistake in the past, particularly with plushies and Funko Pops, some of which you can see here behind me. I received a couple of my first ever Funko Pops as gifts a few years ago, and then I bought 1 or 2 of my favorite characters myself, and then I bought another and another and another, and then there was a sale, so I bought some more, and my friends got me some for my birthday, and yeah, the collection started to grow pretty rapidly. When companies release multiple variations of the same item, it becomes desirable to collect all of those different variations. I eventually stopped buying Funko Pops and asked people to no longer buy me them as gifts because I found that I started to make a habit of buying Funkos that I didn't really want that badly, just for the sake of having them and adding them to my collection rather than collecting specific Funko Pops purposefully. In my opinion and personal experience, a collection of something should be curated in order to keep it from spiraling out of control. Obviously, I can't speak on behalf of any of these creators that I'm showing today, but I do wonder if these NeeDoh collectors are carefully curating these collections with items that they will use and they will treasure, or whether it's a case of wanting every NeeDoh in every color and every shape and every size. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on collecting versus overconsuming. So if you have anything you want to share on this topic, please do so in the comments, and I might also use some of those comments in my upcoming video to help me discuss the topic.
I'm gonna give you a tour of all my NeeDohs.
So here's another video of a TikToker with a huge NeeDoh collection. This person's username is literally Needohqueen, and they've been posting about these things since mid-2025, so before this whole kind of like viral craze really kicked off. But I actually wanted us to take a look at the comments on this video, because we've got a typical example of a TikTok discussion of overconsumption here, and also a prime example of why I do not bother posting my content on TikTok. So somebody said, overconsumption final boss. Is this person by default an overconsumption final boss for collecting a large amount of something? I don't think so. You can't judge something that quickly, that definitively, and I've definitely seen far worse overconsumption final boss behavior than this video. But what I think we're seeing here is people becoming more attuned to content that promotes excessive consumption, which is what this person is trying to call out. And straight away in the replies, you've got people saying, you'll be saying everything is overconsumption now. We've got the classic, she can buy what she wants, it's her money. TikTok's new buzzword is overconsumption. You'll call everything overconsumption, like, we get it, you learn a new word, you don't need to use it every chance you get because 99% of the time you're using it wrong. You will see these replies under every single comment that mentions overconsumption on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and even sometimes here on YouTube as well. And it really infuriates me because 99% of the time, the ones who are saying, we get it, you learn a new word and now you're using it every chance you get, all the people that are saying you're using that word wrong are the people with the least understanding of the concept of overconsumption. But they think that they're right, so they're being loud about it. These people are so quick to call other people loud and wrong whilst being loud and wrong themselves. I just feel like there's no discussion being had here. There's no attempt to understand each other or learn anything. It's always just, you're wrong, you don't get it, I'm smarter than you. And that is why I don't post any of my content on TikTok, because I feel like people over there just aren't open-minded enough to have these conversations. There's just this obsession with being the smartest one in the comment section. I fear TikTok comments are getting kind of like Reddit threads, but where everyone is like 14 years old and also really kind of mean. I just want to sit these people down and ask them, okay then, so what is overconsumption? What does it mean? I know what it means, I would hope. I've spent 6 months making YouTube videos about it. Show me a picture of what overconsumption means to you. Is it this? Because yeah, that's overconsumption. You are over-consuming, excessively consuming. So let's have a conversation about how is this different to buying a whole bunch of NeeDohs. If owning 100 Stanley Cups that all do the same thing, just in different colors, is overconsumption, why isn't buying 100 NeeDohs that all do the same thing, just in different colors, overconsumption? I think the problem here is that there is nuance involved. You have to consider multiple things when discussing overconsumption. Why is somebody buying so many multiples of a specific thing? Do they have a reason? Is it a good reason? And how does that reason compare to the negative effects of overconsumption on the environment? Because if you do even a tiny little bit of research on overconsumption, you will find that overconsuming is harmful to the planet and the environment. That is not an opinion, it's not a theory, it's a fact. So what is somebody's excuse for overconsuming? What are their reasons? Why are they doing these things? These are all things that you should be considering when you think about something, which I feel like is something that a lot of people don't do. They just jump straight to the, that's wrong, that's right, that's this, that's that. You know, there's nuance involved in most things, and you have to stop and consider the specifics of things. You also have to consider that there is a difference between collecting something carefully and just buying a lot of the same things over and over again simply because you can. Unfortunately, people on social media, and particularly younger people on social media, are largely incapable of considering all of these different factors simultaneously when discussing overconsumption. That is why I prefer the term excessive consumption, as I've explained before, because people will constantly argue whether or not things are overconsumption because of the misunderstanding around the word. But I would love to hear somebody argue that there isn't at least a little bit of excessive consumption going on here. This is an excessive amount of NeeDohs. But there is a difference between people collecting these because of a genuine love for the product and people just hopping on the current viral trend. And I think these next few videos might be a good example of the latter.
The biggest NeeDoh haul you have ever seen. These bags are filled with like every single NeeDoh, including the world's smallest NeeDoh. So let's do a haul and unboxing. First, we just have the basic ice cube. Let's unbox her. This is so nice. I also got 2 purple ones as well. Again, literally so nice. Here's all of my ice cubes. Next, I got this really big ball. Ooh, I wonder what's in here. Maybe I should cut it open. Comment down below like which ones I should cut open. Next, let's do this little ball. Oh, wow. Wait, I actually really like this. That is so satisfying. Switch things up and let's do a pup. That is so cute. Look at these. I put this orange one in one of the dumpling giveaways. Do this little fuzzball now. I love this one. This one's really slow rising. Wait, I really want to open this one. Really like the outside too. Next, let's do this one. Wow. Let me know if you want a part 2 of unboxing the rest of my NeeDoh.
So I mean, that was part 1 of the haul.
This is part 2 of my ginormous NeeDoh haul, including the world's smallest NeeDoh. We're gonna start with the one that is not a NeeDoh, just a big flip ball, but I'm sure you guys won't care about this one because it's not a NeeDoh. Okay, we have 2 color changing NeeDohs. But I guess this turns blue, this turns orange. We got 3 more pups. I love it. Here are these 2 pups. I actually love them. I think I'm gonna add this orange one to the giveaway. This also indeed is not a NeeDoh, but I actually love it. It's so cute. And this is not a NeeDoh either, guys. I got a strawberry. We got a glow in the dark NeeDoh, guys. Let's do the gumdrop. I've been so excited for this one. Changes color in the sunlight. Ooh, this one feels really cool. Let me know if you want part 3 of me unboxing the world's smallest NeeDoh.
So this creator in particular has posted multiple videos about these NeeDohs over the past 6 days. And I may be wrong here, but I don't think I am. I don't believe this creator showed any interest in NeeDohs or any other similar sensory toy prior to 6 days ago. They had a dumpling phase a couple weeks ago, obviously, but now the dumplings are done and we've moved on to these NeeDoh hauls. Almost like we're just hopping on whatever's trending and milking it for all it's worth.
Let's do a NeeDoh unbox. I did somehow end up with the box. I also have NeeDoh blind boxes. I didn't even know that was a thing. First we got 2 NeeDoh squeeze hearts. Next we got 2 NeeDoh donuts. Oh, these suck. Oh, much better. I give these ones a 5 out of 10. Next we have the heartstrings. I'm pretty sure that these are gonna suck. 2 out of 10. I got 2 NeeDoh marshmallow eggs. Oh, I really like these ones. Low-key really pretty, I'm not gonna lie. My sister told me not to get this one because this one's bad, but I got it anyways because when do I ever listen? Oh, I like that. 2 out of 10. I didn't realize I actually got 4 eggs, so we have 2 more. Moving on to these little chickadee-doos. Actually so cute. That's so cute. Oh, they're mini NeeDohs. It's yellow and pink. It's purple and yellow. Teal and yellow. Last one. That's cute. Yeah, that was my NeeDoh haul. Bye, guys.
You know, I have this theory that if you get any reasonably popular TikTok influencer who mainly has an audience of kids to do an unboxing haul of something, that item is guaranteed to go viral within the next couple of days. You'll notice something really specific too within these videos, and it was the same with the dumpling videos. And funnily enough, it's all the same influencers who went crazy over the mystery dumplings a couple of weeks ago that are now raving over these NeeDohs. These influencers will unbox things with such little care. They will rip open these products in super fast-paced unboxing videos where they open one thing after another, and after talking about the product they've just unboxed for like 6 seconds, they will throw the product to the side and it's on to the next one. In my opinion, what this style of content does is it teaches these kids who are watching this content that buying hauls of multiple products just to get home and do one of these unboxing sessions where you rip everything open and don't really take the time to appreciate any of this stuff is normal. For these people, the fun is in the unboxing, not the actual using the product. And that is how you end up over-consuming or excessively consuming. Buying things you don't really want or need for the thrill of the purchase. Because then where do all of these unwanted products end up? Gathering dust in your room until they get thrown in the trash and then end up in a landfill to rot on the surface of the planet forever? Or do they get thrown into random giveaways or passed onto friends and family members in an attempt to redistribute your unwanted things? The NeeDoh situation is very similar to the mystery dumpling situation. We've also got the NeeDoh blind boxes that people will surely be scrambling to go out and find. Interestingly enough, I seem to be spotting a lot of videos now where people are realizing that they bought a stupidly large amount of those dumplings and are now wondering what on earth to do with them. So some of these creators have now resorted to doing things like cutting open the dumplings and then buying NeeDohs and then putting the NeeDohs inside the dumpling carcass.
Now let's cut open the glitter dumpling. We're gonna cut open a NeeDoh.
And then they're doing things like making slime and cutting open the dumplings and putting the slime in the dumplings. I don't know. It's crazy. Unfortunately, there will always be people over-consuming and hopping on trends just to make crazy consumerism content, but I'm really glad that you guys are pointing these out to me and are able to notice these situations are indeed not normal. It is great to be able to discuss these things with the purpose of criticizing things like excessive consumption and educating people on these trends and how they can be harmful. As always, I am not here to tell you what to think. I'm here to tell you what I think and to give you some different perspectives and opinions than the ones that you may see elsewhere on social media. So keep thinking, keep learning, watch out for those NeeDohs and the dumplings and the mini mirrors. Speaking of mini mirrors, thanks for all the love on last week's Lucky Scoop video, by the way, which is currently my most viewed long form video ever. That many views is insane. You can check it out on my channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit the hype button if you're on mobile, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of today's video. Unless you're a hater, then don't. And I will see you next week for hopefully my Q&A video, unless some other strange internet situation arises that requires my attention. I've already started seeing comments in the past 24 hours on my videos saying, please react to the Dunkin' bucket situation, so who knows what will happen. Either way, I will see you next Saturday. Bye!